Good evening, everybody. Happy week 2 of Bomb 2. Is that right? That's right. Yeah. um, all right, so here's another video out for you. So this content is for these 3 lectures here. So Monday, November 6th. Just want to let you know too that I'm going to try to combine Tuesday and Wednesday, November 7th and 8th lectures together. We'll see if that happens. Depends how tomorrow morning goes, but just watch for that. There might just be one combined video. But yeah, let's get started. So I just want to preface this video that I am leaning a lot more on Anki than in the previous blocks. So this is a lot of cards, and that is because I am doing a lot of cards. As you can see, 527 today, 813, 955. I'm doing a lot of Anki because this is what's working well for me, I think. So it's going to be a lot of cards. I think it's like 400 something today, but just wanted to preface that this is a lot of cards. And with your own studies, before I jump here, what I would do is make sure that this is at least 100 in the new cards per day. And that way you are getting through the amount of cards I'm giving to you if you activate them all in a timely manner, and considering increasing that number from 100 to maybe 150 or 200 on weekends, or like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you get through all the new cards before the next week begins. That's just a recommendation. If not, you continue with 100 cards or less for the new ones. But you might not get to see everything I activate by the time, finals hit, because this is going to be a lot of new cards throughout the block, I think. But let's get right into it. So I'm going to start in Blue Link just because it's a little easier with what we have going on. So we'll start with the infratemporal fossa in Blue Link. So just make sure your arrow is down like this here. And then in infratemporal fossa, activate everything. And I just want to say again, this is a lot of cards. You're getting repeat images like this one, maybe like this one. And that's just for me, that's just repeated repetitions, repeated reps to learn that. So if and say 4 weeks from now, if I have 10 Foreman Spinosum cards activated, I could probably start deactivating some, suspending them again. But I'm going to wait until I have them pushed off for like a month, all of them. And then, at that point, it's not going to make a difference in my rotation. It's going to be added to like my extra 50 to 80 cards a day that I have from FOM 1 or ISOM. But that's why there's so many cards activated. So all of infratemporal fossa, bleh. And we're going to go to orbit and cavernous sinus. You can activate all of that. Yeah, that's a good one. All of it. We're going to go to nasal cavity. I'm blind. Oh, it's right up above it. Okay, nasal cavity and ear. So what I would recommend is do all the bone. That's if you want increased repetitions again. So all the bone comes all the way down here until you'll notice it. If your arrow is like this, it's the transition from the skull to the nose. So, which we'll get later this week. So see that coming up soon. But otherwise, just this block here, scroll down past the nose. You'll be in the nose here, and then boom to the ear. So this is the card you want. So you can just start like clicking the nose and then hit the down arrow. Just watch the nose fly by, and then when you hit this section, the bone, you're into the ear, activate the rest in this block. And then lastly, mastication. You can start by activating all of it. It's all good. The beginning here, I don't like the colored ones because that's not what we get tested on. So I don't study that because there's just like normal colored skulls and throughout this. And then these 3 here, these are repeat ones that I feel confident on, that you don't have to activate it. So it's the superior temporal line, inferior temporal line, and the zygomatic arch. If you feel, yeah, if you feel good about these, you might consider just saving yourself 3 cards. I mean, really, that's like 20 seconds or 20 or 30 seconds, but that's up to you. Just a few less cards to do. And that's the same for these 3 down here. It is the 3 cards that do Ramus, Ankle, and Body. I think I've activated out of a set of 3. I think I have like 3 of these sets already in rotation, so I figured I didn't need another one. But that is it for Blue Link. And then we're going to move up to, get out of Blue Link, go up to First Aid, and make sure this is version 11. For those of you that are watching, if you have older versions or version 12, if you subscribe to that, cards are probably a little different. I just want to keep reminding everyone of that as we go along here. So First Aid, Neuro, and Special Senses, and we're going to start in Anatomy and Physiology, and go right into, where am I at? Sorry. I made all my notes this morning and then left for class. All right, 36 mastication muscles, all of them. They're all good. This is all directly related to what we went over today. In one of the lectures, I can't remember the doctor's name. Anyways, what we got? So let's see. Yep, mastication, and then we're gonna go out of A&P. We're gonna go into otology, and we're gonna go into auditory, anatomy, and physiology, and anatomy. Activate all of them. The one card I do not have activated is this one. The processing of different frequencies based on spatial arrangement is referred to as tonotopy. That wasn't mentioned in the lecture. I figured I'd save myself a slide. It's a fun fact, kind of. You can activate it if you want. Really, I guess it's not that hard to learn, but figured one less detail to cram into my brain. But otherwise, activate all of anatomy. These are all good. I went through them all. They're all directly related to Dr. Fricano's ear lecture, except this one. This one was not mentioned. And then we'll get into the physiology, I believe, tomorrow morning. So that is it for otology. And then ophthalmology, lots of good ones in here. So we'll get into one, and we're just going to go straight into ID, activate all the cards here. So ophthalmology, normal eye anatomy, identification. That is it. Don't need to do histology, don't need fundoscopy yet, just identification. And then we're going to go into glaucoma, because we did talk about glaucoma. We're just going to go into the basics, and I just activated these 2 because it was one slide. Dr. Arnie touched on it just slightly. So these 2 cards here for glaucoma. And we're going to come out of there, and we're going to go down to 18, pupillary control, and then accommodation. Make sure you have these 3 here. So ciliary muscle under parasympathetic or sympathetic control, and then you know how that works. We haven't gotten to these ones yet, but we might. And then 18, and then we're going to go to 21, ocular motility, and just activate all of them. So you can go through the muscles one by one. You probably already have a couple of them activated, as you can see from my due dates, but these are all good. So activate all of them. I think the reason I didn't activate them in the past is we didn't go over this little eye diagram here for like lateral rectus, medial rectus, inferior oblique, superior oblique, that kind of stuff. But they're all relevant now. And then we're going to go to 22, cranial nerve 3. Grab all of them now. I think I only had 2 activated before, it looks like, and so pick up these other 3. Those were reviewed again today in the eye lecture. Again, we have gone over cranial nerves 4 and 6, but not in relation to really said like the clinical presentation, so I didn't activate them. And then we went into 24 with the cavernous sinus. And you can start by activating all of it. The ones I really didn't activate are the ones talking about like the hypothalamospinal tract. I don't know what that is. I did activate the one that talks about the internal carotid artery going through the cavernous sinus, because that is a major blood vessel going through it. So that's the one activated here. You can choose to activate this closed 2 one, which is talking about the hypothalamospinal tract. but that wasn't in the PowerPoint, so I ignored it. And then grab the last one. These ones in the middle, this is talking about Horner syndrome, or like other kinds of diseases, so cavernous sinus syndrome and so on. Unless I totally blanked to miss this, this was not talked about in the lecture this morning. It was just described that the cavernous, there's a triangle around the nose, and that's the danger zone because easily fractured, and so you have differences in pressure impinging in that area. And then you have a lot of blood vessels and nerves running through it. So if there's any sort of deviation of that, or like a pressure from a lesion or a growth, that causes symptoms by loss of that blood supply, or nerve innervation. So just kind of think of what those nerves and stuff do. That was what I was thinking about it, but Horner syndrome and like these weren't discussed. Unless I totally missed it in that event, please leave a comment or catch me in the hallways. But otherwise, these ones, like the first one down to the cavernous sinus drains into the internal jugular vein. You can grab these two if you want. And then the last one, but ignore these diagnoses one. Save yourself the trouble of learning that. And that looks like, I think that's it. Yeah, I hope that's it. gave you all a lot of cards to do. So that is it. I hope the videos are helping. I got some good feedback this week. So I appreciate that from everyone. And yeah, hope you all have a good time studying. And then I just have some words of wisdom from another special guest.
Hi, this is Melanie again. I just wanted to let you know that the world outside of medical school, we're thinking of you. We miss you. Don't forget to go for a hike. The trees miss you. The trees and the grass want to give you a little love too. Don't forget about your favorite musical artists. They miss you too. They miss you listening to them. Don't forget your dentist. Your dentist misses you, and your teeth miss your dentist. Don't forget about your mom. Call your mom. And you are doing great. I love you all. Bye.
Don't forget to schedule a dentist visit. I think that was a message at me. Okay. Happy studying, everyone. Cheers.